welcome to this Simsig tutorial for Westbury. Starting with the default 2007 timetable. It's about starts from midnight, and you will have a fair few seeded freight trains, including 7 Charlie 41. In and around the Newbury area, you generally want to have that set to auto, as that will be the 2 signals at Colthorpe level crossing and Fatcham. Other than that, I would not fiddle with these on auto. I do not know if that's in this timetable. However, Bedwin siding requires signal Romeo 862 to not have a route set from it, as it uses this overlap, which then locks up the siding. Hungerford up loop, very few trains are meant to stop there, being 2. Bedwin site 7/8 ground frame, whilst we're on the topic of ground frames. Thatcham siding, I haven't seen used. The Shellmax ground frame, I haven't seen used. Racecourse, I haven't seen. I will just make sure that there is nothing, because I don't. No, there isn't. Just to make sure. Newbury, it is possible to terminate on platforms 1 to 3. However, if terminating on platform 1, want to use the shunt signal here to either route them down towards here and then use the crossover, make sure that you haven't got a route set from either of these signals, or it is possible to use the shunting arrow to make sure you've got a route set. Woodborough, this is one of the most used goods loops. We'll see most trains go in, but if in the down and up goods loops, the limit, you don't see anything come out of your Woodborough sidings or go in. However, if you've got a custom made timetable that does, ground frame, make sure you got your ANIC key in. This goes for all of them. Points down, make sure you got your route set from the signal. Activate the signal or hand signal, depending on which way you're going. The route down from Chippenham down the Melksham single line, you will not be able to route a signal through until you have had your 70 slot requested. Trains coming from Bathampton Junction will have their head code interposed here, which is generally the time that you want to, unless you know your timetable incredibly well and nothing's running behind. That's when you want to use your controls for signal 186. Otherwise, you cannot set it, obviously, over the level crossing due to the tunnel straight before it. So, say you have 7 Charlie 61, not stopping at Bradford on Avon, non-stop, route it through. This signal will go green. So all this does is control where this crossing activates. Bradford Junction here doesn't really need too much attention. Just make sure you got your 2 M's. Yeah, so any M's will come up through here, or up and down, heading to and from Swindon. However, most other trains will just come straight through. Westbury East Loop is not really used. Westbury Cement Works, the down yard and the up yard, as well as the engine sidings, all need permission before you want to send a train in. Which is, if you struggle to remember if you've got the slot or not, at least for the down yard, have a reminder set on all of them, and when you've got permission for a train, just remove the reminder on one of them. some trains, at least in this timetable, will come in and out of the up yard. So you come out to the signal 717 and then reverse back in. If they do that, you do not need permission to send them back in. Watley Quarry is a single line after Froome North. You need a slot before you can put in any routes. The Hapsford ground frame is not really you, so don't worry about it too much. You can hold a train in the upwards loop if you use the 2 shunt signals, I believe. Maybe? No? But either hold them at Westbury in either the up or down receiving, and then send them off to Watley Quarry once you've got the slot, or if you're feeling lucky, request a slot at some point before you send them down the single line. Again, you can set your just general reminders so that you know, make sure, well, to remind you. If you don't enjoy removing things, then you can just override, and it will override. Same goes for Muirhead Quarry. Generally, your arriving trains you want to send into Muirhead arrivals. Departing trains will come out of Quarry departures into White's Crossing siding, and then will lead out, and generally you can either route them directly onto the main line, or you can hold them in the branch loop till your passing train has gone through. If a train has come from East Somerset heading to Muirhead and is waiting for a train to clear the single line, hold it in the goods loop, not the main line, as the distance between signal 122 and 224 is not long enough to hold most of the freight trains. Line down to Yeovil Pen Mill is where your Weymouth trains will go, and some South Western Railway, which I don't think are in this timetable. You will route your signal. This will not go red. This signal will not clear until the train is about here. You do get the occasional call from Forney Marsh, so just be aware of that. Yeovil Pen Mill will request a slot to come up here. Both platform 3 and 2 can be used, whether generally want to go with the timetable. The down sidings, the bay and the up sidings aren't used in this timetable, at least. Cranmore with the East Somerset Railway, again, if you haven't, unless you've got a custom timetable, isn't used. Same with the up and down sidings at East Somerset, and then your 1 Alpha 1 Charlie's will come out to Coglow Junction before heading off down southwest. Other than that, I don't think there's much more to cover. Be aware of the up and down Trowbridge sidings. Some will want in or out. Westbury North Junction will accept this or here, and will reverse at these signals. I do not know if it will let you reverse at signal 722. Something for you to go find out. Remember, phone calls to engine sidings, up yard, down yard. Salisbury Spur is just a small spur for reversing trains. Obviously, before I forget, you line up towards Salisbury. Warminster and Beech Grove ground frames are not used. Before any train will go into Beech Grove, make sure you phone it up if you are using that custom timetable. Dilton Marsh, signal 304, unfortunately cannot be autoed, so every time it needs to be used, you need to set your route across. Signal 308 can be autoed, so have that on auto. There's not much reason. Sidings around Froome aren't used. Westbury Bovis, I believe, might be used by one train. maybe. Okay, that's a weird time. Yes, so it can be used in some, however, it isn't really. And yeah. So I hope you've all enjoyed. Also, crossings down here, Hungerford, Kintbury, don't have to worry about those. They are controlled locally. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed, and yeah, see you in the next one, potentially.